Just had 2 days off, made plans to do things, and guess where I was? I was sleeping. I don't think I even moved my car. Okay, so, I'm not one of the movers and shakers anymore. I've been wavering in between 4 to 6 cups of coffee. My sugar intake has gone up, and that doesn't particularly worry me. If it's getting me over it, it's getting me over it. I'll probably go about another week like that and then deal with that, which I don't foresee any kind of problem because I can go most of my life without eating refined sugar. I just thought I'd break in here and go ahead and report what's happening. If I went into like an emotional state last night, it was really wild too. It was like emotions basically from my childhood. That was a long time ago. That certainly was unexpected. I have 4 cups of coffee to deal with per day. I'm beginning not to like it so much because after I drink it, I'm noticing a very acidic thing happening in the pit of my stomach. Oh yeah, and I've taken up cranberry juice. Apparently that's very good for your kidneys. I can't tell you how much better I'm feeling today. I seem to be on pretty much a solid 4 cups right now. You're talking to some other people. Everybody's like giving their story about giving up caffeine. I had no idea that it was so rough. If this stuff is not a drug, I don't know what in the world it is. They're saying the same thing that I've been saying, where they have to drink just a little bit of coffee because they're getting palpitations, chest pains, the release of muscles along the spine, all kinds of stuff. I wanted to talk a little bit more about my appetite. I'd say within the last 3 weeks, I'm just not much of a eater. I guess that will correct itself, but I really got to get this out of my system. This withdrawal has been something, really something. I think as much coffee as I drink, it probably is a good thing that I decided to take it a little bit more slowly because, wow, wow, it is crazy what it does to you. And I had no idea, like I said. I had no idea whatsoever it would be like that. I never even thought about caffeine withdrawal except for people mention the headache. Week 4 coming up. I thought the first week would be the toughest. That second week it hit me hard, and this week a little bit. Also, and I mention this because anybody that's watching this and might want to give up coffee may experience the same thing, but there are emotional detox issues that go along with this. I guess it's things that probably were in your life and you hadn't dealt with them effectively, and somehow the coffee had been blocking it. With me, it seems to be abandonment issues from childhood. That's another story for another day, but anyway, yes, they hit me very heavily, and they seem to hit me at night. The only thing is to actually process that. Oh yeah, and another thing, yesterday at work, I got to a point where I was very tired. I went back in the break room, and we have a machine with all sorts of unhealthy snacks, and I had a cinnamon brown sugar Pop-Tart. It did not help me get over the fact that I was going to fall asleep, and as a matter of fact, I think I fell asleep in the break room for a few minutes. I have had spurts of like really nice energy. There's papers and all kinds of things in my house that I haven't cleaned up probably for a year. I'll feel good for a half hour and it's cleanup time. I woke up this morning and I am just not hungry at all. I'm probably the most unhungry that I've ever been. I've just got the worst taste in my mouth. This started yesterday, maybe toward the end of the day. The only thing I want to do is drink water. Pretty healthy diet. Did have a Pop-Tart yesterday. My teeth are just killing me, like right around the area of my teeth. I'm just mentioning it because it must have something to do with it. Very, very acidic stomach this morning. Even though all this is going on, I've got like so much mental clarity right now. I can calculate my next move a lot better, and I'm just not on a reaction time. I'll go through this physical stuff for this mental clarity. Who wouldn't want that? So never let it be said that I'm a huge fan of coconut water, but there's something in this that I am absolutely craving right now, so much that I probably will drink this entire thing. Maybe it's certain minerals that are actually in coconut water. I don't know, but this thing is going down. Honestly, yesterday you caught me drinking coconut water, and that actually did something. They say it's hydrating, and it's probably the first time that I did not have a dry mouth since I started this thing. I pretty much sipped on it all day, and it went down. It definitely went down and went down smoothly. And of course, I still pounded water yesterday. Maybe I'm successfully hydrated now. Into the 4th week. Let's see, it's been 1, 2, 3. Into the 4th week. Into the 4th week. Wow. And guess what? I'm down to 3 cups. I made it through one solid night, 3 cups in the morning. I'm gonna get up today and do this again. I've got a slight headache. My idea is to go for as long a period as I can without coffee. It looks like I actually made it one entire night. I probably had my last cup of coffee at about 11 o'clock yesterday morning. I was getting some kidney pain, flu-like symptoms, which is weird. I mean, I think this is the first time they've come on. I felt a little congested before, but yesterday I was doing the sneezing thing and running hot. It just seems like timing is everything, and to keep coffee out of my night too. I just looked at my stats on my Fitbit. I slept 7 hours and 7 minutes. That is a lot for me. Hardly any waking time, too. It was pretty much straight, solid sleep. Going back to the emotional release as you withdraw from caffeine, I spent most of the day fighting this little thing in my brain that was telling me how I was an inferior person and I was slow and, oh gosh, what else did it? Inferior person, slow, all this inferiority complex stuff. Going back to my childhood, the same thing that I've been dealing with that keeps popping up. I was choking it down the whole day, and the more I'd choke it down, the more it would pop up. At the end of the day, I just said to myself, whatever, if it helps me get to the things that I need to do in my life, fine, I'll be that. And as soon as I stopped resisting it, all of a sudden this huge release of energy left me, almost as if coffee all my life was making up for what I felt were shortcomings and inferiority complexes. What are those about anyway? I just kind of look into my life. It's just like I'm saying to myself, and all this that I've done in my life, and I'm sitting here feeling somehow inferior. What is this about? Day spent yesterday, 2 cups of coffee, even though I said I was going to have 3. Today, the plan, 2 cups of coffee. I went down a little further than I thought I would, and I'm sticking to it. Wow, so just relaxing before work. Actually relaxing. Coffee use has gone way down. I expected to be 3 cups by the end of this week. Starting on week 5 of this venture, I'm kind of proud of myself. 2 cups is all I do in a day. So I pretty much have the energy to get me through most of the day. I'm probably going to bed a little bit earlier. I do still feel a little out of whack because so much of my day was about consuming coffee. My appetite is starting to come back at this point in history. People are consuming a heck of a lot more caffeine than they ever did. If you're getting 3 24-ounce coffees a day, and 8 ounces is basically a serving. Look what you're doing to yourself. Coffee was brought about to have a medicinal purpose. Like any other plant that does have a medicinal purpose, you can't really abuse it or you can't really consume it. Before leaving the house today, I fixed myself something special. This beautiful cup. Celestial Seasonings Bengal Spice Tea. I was intrigued. I went to the tea aisle looking for something that might give me not the same taste as coffee, but the same effect as far as flavor is concerned. And, I found this wonderful remastered chai tea. They were trying to produce a chai tea that did not have caffeine like a traditional chai tea. This does everything for me that coffee does. I did have a cup of coffee this morning. For the past few days, I've actually been doing about a cup and a quarter. Now we're getting down to increments. I want to stop it soon, so I was just definitely trying to find something that would replicate that overall taste in the morning, that overall nice, sweet, creamy flavor that you get with coffee. It really kind of gives me that thing without the caffeine. Of course, it's not going to have the boost. I ended up giving up coffee because it got harder and harder to go through my daily life without crashing, feeling bad the whole day. Obviously, my system was probably talking to me. Every single day, I get stronger and stronger. A lot more things are getting done, and I'm not going through this war zone where everything seems like it's a struggle and everybody is against you and everything is against you and you pretty much have to fight through it. I did have an emotional thing arise the other day where I felt like my whole world was falling apart, expecting to lose my job, which doesn't make any sense because I was just offered an award for performance. All I wanted to do was drink coffee. I did not drink the coffee afterwards, as I did recognize it as one of these emotional detox things. I started this week at 1 cup of coffee. I'm still making a cup of coffee in the morning. The one thing is, though, is I'm using less coffee grounds when I go to make it, and I'm getting some kind of weak substance. My coffee used to be something that you actually couldn't see through when you poured it, and now you can definitely see through it. And I've been doing about half a cup a day, going down to the last drop. If I don't do that, I'm still getting headaches. They're almost tolerable, though. I'm going successfully through my day without coffee, except for that morning cup. I've got stressors in my life right now, but I did have 2 cups. I got a reverse headache where all of a sudden, I got a headache because I drank more coffee than I've been used to in a while. I'll just take that as a sign of advice for myself. It's my vacation days now, since I'll have the rest time. I can deal with whatever comes along. I've actually found myself becoming a nicer person. One day I went into a store and somebody, actually after checking out, wanted to check my bags at the door. Usually that would make the hair stand up on the back of my neck. I might growl a little bit. This time I just sort of looked at her and said, "Are you all having problems right now?" And she answered me, "Yes." Just relaxing with my Bengal spice tea. I got up, fought with myself as to whether I was going to make a cup of coffee or the tea. I decided at the last minute to make the coffee, so I've made the weak concoction that I've been making and drank about half a cup of it. And then after doing that, I said to myself, no, I'm switching to the tea. I wish I would have had the opportunity actually to just have quit like on the spot, but Honestly, that would have thrown me into something that maybe would have caused me trouble. So I guess it was the best choice. After 6 weeks, my my willpower has kicked in. I'm not as big of a mess. So now it's all about cleaning up my life. I've planted a garden. I wasn't going to do it this year, but I figured it's probably going to be pretty therapeutic. I've had this going on for about 5 years, my little balcony garden. I've been out here cleaning the mess from last year, so it's not in the greatest shape, but it'll get there. And in the meantime, it's really a great thing to watch things grow. Give them your time, your attention, and they reward you with beauty. Finally, I have arrived. I don't plan to drink coffee today. For the past couple days, it's been symptomless. If I did feel a symptom, I just took a little tiny bit of coffee. Very, very minimal coffee. I find myself being much more relaxed, much nicer person, and I'm sure as time goes on, I'll find out even greater benefits after it is totally out of my system. I really don't want to have coffee, at least for a year. Even after that year, it's going to be very minimal if I do. But as far as this normal, everyday drinking of coffee, that has come to an end. Caffeine free, wow. What do I do with my life now? I've been getting up in the morning, drinking lots of water, and then my Bingo Spice tea, and that's it. Now that my appetite's back, gonna modify my diet so I'm actually eating healthier plant-based foods. I will have to do this because I'm sure the cleansing process is still going on to some extent. It's a great feeling to wake up and not have to rely on plugging in that pot. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. As always, thanks for watching and have a good day.